Trust my dogs to go, man. Good morning. Welcome to the Celtic Way morning briefing live. I'm Tony Haggerty. As you can hear, live TV or whatever you want to call it. My dog decided to on cue start barking as the briefing started, but never mind. As I say, I'm Tony Haggerty at Haggerty10 on the Twitter handle, and I'm joined today by Ryan McGinlay at the Ryan McGinlay. How are you, Ryan? Skin graft still not get that smile off your coupon? Yep, still got a big grin in your Chevy Chase. Like to see that. There you go. How you doing? You all right?
Yeah, things are good. I'm still buzzing about the weekend, to be honest. Just about got there. So yeah, I'm delighted. Still delighted about the win. These things, you're happy for days after a win like that. So I'm still absolutely delighted.
I think it never loses its appeal, does it? Winning a big match against your city rivals, especially a Scottish Cup semi-final, and to know what the consequences of that can be on June the 3rd. So excellent. We'll get tore into that and other things as we continue the aftermath and look ahead as well. And I'll talk all things Celtic. So Robert Gibson, oi, watch this tennis is the start time. Yeah, there we go. It's round about there, Robert, but good morning to you and good morning to everybody. How we all doing? Jason Lee, there we go. McGinlay looks like a human teddy bear. I don't know if teddy bear's the right phrase you'd want to be associated with, Ryan, but I think maybe he's just sort of saying you look cut this up. So there you have it. Fan mail already. There you go.
I'll take it.
I'll take it. Don Harlow comes in. Good morning, Hagger and McGinlay. Hagger? There you go. I mean, call many things, but not Hagger. And Alan Robertson just asking the question, are you sponsored by Fred Perry? If not, you probably should be. Ryan, good advert for the yes, indeed. Now, as we ask you every morning, guys, we say thank you to everybody that's subscribed to the Celtic Way website, but we implore or we urge everybody to, if they haven't already, to click that button and subscribe to the Celtic Way, top quality football journalism, covering the club you love. It's all for the click of a button, guys. www.celticway.co.uk/subscribe. That's www.celticway.co.uk/subscribe. And we also say thank you to SENECA. And as everybody knows, the Celtic Way morning briefing is now sponsored by SENECA Medical Group. SENECA are the number one hair transplant company in Europe, and they offer innovative hair restoration treatments. And you can find out more about SENECA via the links in the description of this video. Now, Ryan, all things Celtic, lots of positivity emanating and oozing from the club. But one thing we did not talk about yesterday was Alistair Johnston having to leave the field and then parading around Hampden with sticks and the moon boot. And at one point, there was some wonderful footage of Rio Hitachi telling him to calm down because he was waving the stick about and going what you would say pure radio rental in the celebrations, considering the fact that he's just been taken off and he's got a moon boot on. But there you have it. I think all the Celtic supporters have grown to love Alistair Johnston since he came in January, and that was a minor setback or a bit of bad news, a wee blow that he came off. But in comes his replacement, Tony Ralston, and he just gets wired in, doesn't he? He just starts getting stuck right in there, and so it was good to see Tony back, not in those circumstances, but for every yin there's a yang and all that kind of stuff, Ryan, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was a shame that Alistair Johnston obviously got injured, but at the same time, it's a good opportunity for Tony Ralston to come in and get some minutes. He'd been kind of starved for minutes since he's returned from injury. I can't really remember him coming on in any of the other games, so it's good for him to sort of get back in the swing of things with regards to the team. What better way to get back in the swing of things than against Rangers? And he didn't need any time to adjust. He just gets stuck in straight away. And he done his job, and I thought it was really good for the 25 minutes that he was on. He was on for a wee bit longer than that, probably. Yeah, but it was definitely a positive in the performance, and he gets stuck in, and he done a great job.
Yeah, it was. We kind of discussed Alistair Johnston, what he's brought to the team since he came in January. Debut at Ibrox, and still kept up his wonderful record of never having lost to Rangers since he came in and he's played against them. Yeah, but a bit of a blow, bit of a, you know, it's a shame because Alistair Johnston was hitting some real form, wasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. I think all his best games have been against Rangers, to be honest. The 3 or 4 games that he's played so far, he's really endeared himself. He's a big game player. He seems to get a kick out of playing against Rangers, both physically and mentally, you would say. He just loves getting stuck in about it. He's definitely a player that has endeared himself to the fans, both on and off the pitch. His stuff on social media is brilliant as well. His interviews are brilliant. They're long, but they're great. He's definitely a positive both on and off the pitch, and I hope he's not out for too long because you're right, he was getting into a good bit of form before that injury.
Yeah. And Andrew Gillier coming on saying Ralston can see the season out and remind everyone how good he is. Alan Robertson saying Ralston Dino. There you go. Brown Warrior coming in and saying, what did he say? Timing is everything in football. Having Ralston back for the trips to Tynecastle and Ibrox is great news. So, yeah, lots of positivity for Ralston. Hazel Finn, love Ralston, gives 110% answers, covered all areas with this squad. So there you go. And people asking what the definitive is with Alistair Johnston's injury. We don't actually know that. Hopefully there'll be some kind of update today, won't we? Yeah, so we'll obviously, if that's the case, we'll be all over that and we'll be covering it. So keep your eyes on the website for news updates, and I'm sure Mr. McGinlay will keep us informed if we get an update, sir, won't you? You'll be all over that. But yeah, I mean, it's you. We look at the strength and depth of the squad, and sadly that Alistair Johnston's having to bow out for the last few games of the season, might even miss the cup final. But you have no qualms about Ralston coming in there, have you, Ryan?
No, he's never let us down, and he's always come up trumps in the big moments. I seem to remember last season at Ross County, 97th minute or whatever minute it was, the winner that he got. He's always there. He's always available, and he's never let us down. I think the career revival he's had over the past under 2 years has been absolutely incredible, considering where he was in the team 2 years ago to where he is now. It's really a credit to himself how far he's went to make himself a sort of regular in the team. I know he's a bit of a sub just now with regards to Alistair Johnston, but that's purely down to how good Johnston has been since he's came in. It's not a slight on Ralston, it's just how good his opponent has been in that position.
Yeah, Derek Crawford was to think 3 years ago there not been one single supporter who thought Ralston would ever be a first team Celtic player. His loan spells were poor. I think most people can get on board with that and agree with that. The Harlow LP, the Ralstonator. There you go. So I'm flicking up a lot of your comments, guys, because we kind of neglected to do that yesterday, and we involved you a wee bit, but not as much as we usually do. I think that was just because the three of us were all carried away and just wanted to get our own aura in about Sunday's event. So if you get anything you want to throw into the comments, throw it up and we'll try our level best to mention it on the show. Pete McGee, Derek Crawford, a lot of people thought Greg Taylor would never be up to scratch either. Same for Moy. Yeah, lots of It's exactly why, and Strachan's laptop saying exactly why she's got to apply for Ralston at the club. I think the same was planned for Taylor, but Barnaby's quite took that place as planned. Hasn't quite took that place as planned yet. Indeed. So yeah, I think Pete McGee and Strachan's laptop make valid points there, Ryan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a bit of a weird one with Barnaby because he isn't even making a lot of the subs benches as well, which is really I don't know about concerning, but he's just taking time to adjust. Yes. I think they probably would have thought for the amount that we paid for him that he would make more of an impact. Jesse made that impact with that screamer that he scored a couple of weeks ago, but I think there's still time for him. He's still so young. He's getting used to a new culture, a new continent as well. So there's plenty of time. Players have been in worse positions than Barnaby that have came back and done well for Celtic. So I'm not too concerned at this point in time. He's still got time.
Yes, without a doubt. Pete McGee comes back in, slapping me in the wrist here, Ryan. He felt slighted yesterday. Tony, don't you love me anyway? We love everybody in the Celtic Way community. We're just introducing Ryan to everybody. You'll get to know them, Ryan. They're a wonderful bunch, very knowledgeable bunch. So if you get something wrong, expect to get it tight, as they say. So be on your guard for that. But yeah, they're a wonderful, well-educated, knowledgeable bunch on the Celtic Way comment section. So yeah, bring your A game every day, or at least so
Absolutely.
never stop. I think that's the mentality that you have. Never stop. It's relentless. Keep going. Sometimes I've stopped, but the viewers have been quick to remind me. But I'm getting older. That's my thing. So there you have it. Anyway, Michael Ross saying Ralston is a great replacement. He most certainly is. I don't think anybody has any qualms about seeing Ralston come in to deputise for Alistair Johnston in what's left of the season, the 6 games that are left. So there you have it. Now, I've written a piece today, Ryan. It's on the website, and I am saying, what am I saying? I'm talking about Cameron Carter-Vickers, which leads us nicely into what we're going to talk about next. Now, Cameron Carter-Vickers' season is over. I'm saying that his performance on Sunday and just the way he has adapted to his 2 years at Celtic is reminiscent of defenders from time gone past. So whatever era of Celtic you enjoyed watching or you thought was the most successful, I'm throwing the question out there, that is he up there with McNeil and Clark, or is he Virgil van Dijk, Denier, Baldy, Mialbi, Roy Aitken, Paul Elliott, Mark Reaper, Stubbs? Whatever era of Celtic that you're watching a defender who will, when he leaves the club, will have a legacy as one of the best defenders. Ryan, he'll certainly be up there, won't he?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll just throw out a hot take just now. I think he's the best defender I've seen at Celtic since I've been watching Celtic, and that's 15, 16 years, I would say. Van Dijk strolled the league, but it's the team that Carter-Vickers is in. And I think that partnership as well with Starfelt, we were quick to talk about Carter-Vickers, but Starfelt deserves a lot of credit as well. I think the two make each other better, but Carter-Vickers is absolutely, it's getting to that point now where you're like, this is all a bit too easy for him. I mean, he was injured. He was basically injured on Sunday, and he's still putting a player of the match performance. So it really does show you the levels that this guy is playing at just now. And
Yep.
Do you know, it's a perfect fit as well, I think, because Carter-Vickers had a lot of loan spells out from Tottenham. Look at the different teams that he's played for. Now he's in a place where he feels comfortable and settled, and you're seeing that in his performances. He looks so comfortable whenever he's playing. He knows his job, he knows his role, and both sides, both him and the team, are getting positive results due to that.
I put the article in the comments, guys. You can have a read at that at your leisure, but you might enjoy it. And I've referenced a couple of points, Ryan. I've referenced the time Sir Alex Ferguson had a famous rant when Aberdeen beat Rangers in the Scottish Cup and said Miller and McLeish won the cup for Aberdeen. That was a 1983 Scottish Cup final. And I've also referenced Jack Charlton saying Paul McGrath took on Italy on his own when Ireland shocked Italy at the USA World Cup in 1994, and I was sort of saying that performance on Sunday was reminiscent of those kind of performances. Threw himself at everything, knowing his season was over after this game, but saying on Monday that he made a pact with Starfelt that they weren't losing, and what typified it for me was that instant where he's cleared the ball, Morelos has come in with a pretty high challenge, he's lying on the floor, and Barisic slings one over, and who gets up to head it away? But your man, just determined, So I think that performance from Carter-Vickers will live long in the memory, and certainly whatever he achieves will also live long in the memory. And lots of people with older memories than me will remember the likes of Billy McNeil and John Clark as a defensive partnership. But that Cameron Carter-Vickers Starfelt partnership in the 2 years that they've been playing together is certainly worthy of an honourable mention.
Yeah, absolutely. He's just, you talk about attackers, and attackers have great games, such as they'll maybe score a late winner, or they'll score a hat-trick, or have a really outstanding game. But I think defenders deserve their flowers when they have a really good game, and Carter-Vickers I think that was the breakout game from him. I feel like he's had quite a few of them, but he was playing with adversity, with the fact that he was carrying an injury. He knew his season was over, and he still put his body on the line for the team to get the team to another final. That I think that just typifies how big a player he's been in the 2 years, and how much of a leader he is on the pitch as well. Because other players will feed off that. If they're seeing a defender put their body on the line like that, then they'll be more likely to do it because they'll want to set an example. So yeah, I'm absolutely delighted for him. I hope he enjoys his rest. He's certainly deserved it.
Now I'm going to flick up lots of comments about Carter-Vickers, Helen Feeks. Yep, Cameron Carter-Vickers was awesome. Andrew Galea, Cameron Carter-Vickers, what a player. Strikers Laptop, Champions League entry next season with Cameron Carter-Vickers. Lots of love coming in from Scott McGill. He's with you. Cameron Carter-Vickers, best defender in Scotland, the best that he's seen. You agree with you, Ryan? Andrew Galea come back in. Cameron Carter-Vickers, Stafford, what a partnership. Jason Lee, our central defenders, are excellent. John McCauley, Cameron Carter-Vickers, player of the year to go unbeaten with your centre-back partnership for over a year, shows how good you are. Strachan's Laptop was an outstanding defensive performance, and Brown Warrior comes in, and I thought this too as well. Thought Morelos should have been booked for falling through on him. I felt that too. So yeah, I thought that was a poor challenge. But the reason we bring it up is that now that he's going under a surgeon's knife and getting the required knee surgery, makes way for UK Kobayashi. And I don't know about you, Ryan, but I'm liking Kobayashi. I think his coolness and calmness personified, and he looks like a big, elegant kind of defender to me. And the cameos in the games that I've watched him, again, I think he's in safe hands. You take an important player like Cameron Carter-Vickers out, and I've no qualms about Yuki Kobayashi coming in. Came on that second half at Tynecastle and breezed it, absolutely breezed it when you thought Hearts would maybe throw something at Celtic more the kitchen sink to try and stay in the Scottish Cup. He looked every inch a good footballer.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see how he deals with Scottish defences, because I feel like we've seen a lot of his passing. His passing looks really assured on the left-hand side of defence, or the left centre-back position. So I want to see him challenged just a wee bit more to see how good he is defensively. But he looks like he's got a bit of prestige about him. He's got a bit of class on the ball. He gives the ball really quickly to sort of Greg Taylor or the midfielders, whoever's ready for the ball. I remember that in the lead up to one of the goals at Kilmarnock, it was his quick passing that started a breakaway. So I'm really looking forward to seeing all aspects of his game, because that's the thing, he will get game time. Now that Carter-Vickers is away, he's going to get 7 to 8 games in a row to just sort of stake his claim in the team and really put down a marker for next season to say, and you shouldn't take me out of this team when it comes to next season. It's up to him to really showcase his qualities.
Definitely, and lots of comments coming in about Kobayashi. Jason Lee, Kobe looks like a smooth operator. Curtin Rock and Diecast Racing saying time for Yuki to step up. Andrew Galea said I'm very comfortable with Starfelt Kobayashi, and Angelo Tyro saying Kobe's a great lefty. Yeah, he's a natural left-sided defender, which ticks a lot of boxes. Scott McGill saying Kobe's a great player on natural left. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Derek Crawford saying Yuki's a top player. Starfelt will also be even better in his natural position on the right. Yuki can help us build the play up so much with his natural left foot. Indeed, I totally agree with that. But it'll just be interesting to see that dynamic, won't it, again, Ryan?
Yeah, absolutely. And we were talking about it yesterday, but I'm looking forward to seeing Starfelt on the right-hand side as well, because I made the point that he's been playing basically out of position for the majority of his time at Celtic. I think we'll see an even better Starfelt when he's more comfortable playing with the ball on that side, playing with his preferred foot. I'm looking forward to seeing how those two operate, because I mean, if it's always good to have a plan B, and if Kobayashi can definitely play, then we know that we're set if an injury does happen to either Starfelt or Carter-Vickers. It'd be good to have that sort of safety blanket that you know that he's going to be all right if he comes in. But I'm really looking forward to seeing how the two operate. I think it's always exciting to see fringe players coming into the side and see what they can do, because they'll be as hungry as the players that have just left the team. Yeah. They want to stake their claim, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how he does over the next 7 or 8 games.
Well, without a doubt. And Hazel Finn comes in and says, be interesting to see Starfelt get a run on the right, yeah. And Robert Gibson, Kobe will balance out the back. Sees Cameron Carter-Vickers happy holidays. There you go. certainly not on his holidays. But yeah, but we wish him all the best and hope all the surgery goes well. And John McCall comes in. We'll see how much better with the ball Kobayashi is than Starfelt. Probably a bit harsh. I think Starfelt's been excellent of late. So, and
that's not really his game. It's more. Starfelt's game is more about all-out defending than passing. I don't think his passing is that bad. Majority of the time, he does get the ball to the midfielders and the other players in the team. But I think if you ask Starfelt to just defend, he is very, very good at just your standard defending, and that's all we need.
Yeah. Daniel F comes in. Morning, Daniel. How you doing? Notice when Kobe plays, because he's so come to the left, he misses out the midfield at times, and he can pass straight to the left winger to get the attack going much faster. Yeah, he's playing a couple of balls forward, hasn't he, to either the left or right winger or centre forward. So yeah, looking forward to seeing that kind of range of pass. Now, I just like my defenders to be comfortable with the ball at their feet. First and foremost, I like them to clear their lines, Ryan. Defend first and foremost. When the ball's in the air, when the ball's in the deck, get to it. But if you look comfortable and elegant and you can play a pass, Ronald Koeman-esque type pass, then by all means show off your talent and your wares and do it. But yeah,
he's definitely coming from good stock as well. When you look at the players that he's worked with at Vissel Kobe, his former team, he played alongside Thomas Vermaelen. Vermaelen was really good on the ball as well. He was one of the first sort of passing centre backs in the Premier League, and then obviously he was working with the captain Andres Iniesta, one of the best passers ever in football. So I think he'll have plenty of experience to play that passing sort of play, because he's been working with these people that are really, really good with the ball at their feet.
Yeah. Did Iniesta like a pass? I think he did, didn't he? So you can learn off guys, can't you? You know, Edward Wire Ross comes in and says, "Yes, he's tall. That's why Tony likes him." I have to say, you know me. I'm quite kind of honest about how I like defenders. If they're tall, all the better. If they're imposing, all the better. And so yes, but if they can play football, then great. I'm happy with that. But first and foremost, I want them to do the job that their position, dictates. Just defend.
And just going back to Carter-Vickers, I don't think he's the tallest defender ever. He's not what 6'3", 6'4". He's just hitting 6 foot. I think even if that. But I think because he's so dominant in the air, nobody really takes a notice of that. I remember when he was getting touted as signing on loan from Celtic, people were talking about his height slightly, but I think any doubt about that has been extinguished in the year or two that he's been around Celtic Park.
Yes, indeed. I totally agree with that. You don't need to be big to be a powerful and imposing defender. I get that. It just helps, in my opinion. But as I've said before, even guys like Cameron Carter-Vickers, he's pretty dominant in the air. That's what I mean. Just go and win the ball when it's in the air, challenge all those, win all those duels, and then when it's on the floor, deal with it. I'm happy with that. But I guess it's a prototype that the manager wants all his players to be comfortable with the ball at their feet, and you can do that and you can demonstrate that and display those skills. Great, I'm all for that. But first and foremost, you're there to defend, you're there to keep your mind on the job. And as the manager says, Cameron Carter-Vickers and Starfelt have the hardest job on the pitch every time, because our concentration levels have to be top notch, and they've got deployed with man marking jobs almost every other week. So that's the kind of thing Kobayashi's going to have to get used to as well. And Scottish football is a lot of rough and tumble about it, so it can be less elegant, and you can get less time than you normally think. So yeah, all those elements come into play, and from what I've seen of Cameron Carter-Vickers, Starfelt and Kobayashi, they've all handled it no problem so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a position that we'll be looking to sort of strengthen in the summer. I think we'll see a couple of bodies go out the door, and maybe some of the fringe players that aren't really getting a game in that position. So it'd be nice to have 4 players to sort of rotate, having 2 starters and then 2 guys that can come in every second or third game. But I mean, if everybody's fit, then Starfelt and Carter-Vickers will play every game. That's just the way it is at the moment. They're just that good. I mean, and I can't really remember many mistakes the 2 of them have made together, especially recently. So if it's not broke, then why change it?
Yeah, and Kobayashi seems to have settled into it pretty quickly from what the action that we've seen of him. Ryan, he has looked very composed and very decent, and I think, we all know that Cameron Carter-Vickers was going for surgery, so but on the flip side, we were looking forward to seeing Kobayashi get an extended run and just a chance to say to the manager, I'm here, I'm around. This is a wee marker for next season for myself personally.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it helps the fact that the Japanese contingent that are at Celtic as well. The fact that he's played with Kyogo too. I remember when he just signed, they were out in the Christmas markets together. Even just seeing that, it shows that he's adapted well to the team and the sort of team ethic, and it's good that other players are sort of looking after him. But what I did like when I have watched Kobayashi is that he's pointing people about the place as well. He's not afraid to speak his mind, and that's absolutely brilliant. He's shown that even with a language barrier, the language of football is the same. So he can definitely do the job of a central defender, and I'm sure his English will be improving week upon week. He'll be taking steps to sort of learn that. But I'm really looking forward to seeing how he gets on in this team, and fingers crossed he takes his opportunity, because it is a golden opportunity that's been given to him. It's a real chance to stake his claim for next season, and I hope he takes it with both hands.
He's another leader by the looks of it, Ryan. Can't get enough leaders on the park and guys directing traffic and just vociferous on the pitch. Cameron Carter-Vickers is a different kind of leader, and said that, but he had no qualms about giving the captain's armband to central defender. So I like that about Kobayashi, who he has come in and you can see him pointing and shouting and giving instructions and stuff. So he kind of settled into that role as well. That when you're on the park, everybody's a leader and you have your say. You don't retreat into a shell and think, "Oh, I'm new here." I like the fact that he's giving it big licks.
Yeah, absolutely. It really does show how comfortable he is in the team and the team ethic that's about the place. That these guys that are just coming in, they've only been in 4 or 5 months, and yet they're calling the shots when they're on the pitch. That shows how together the team is, that they all trust each other, and they all trust each other's judgment when they're talking about what to do on the football pitch. Yeah, it really does bode well for the future, and I think this is just the start of Kobayashi's career. He's going to get these games before the end of the season. Then he'll have all of pre-season. It looks as if he'll be going back to his home country during the summer as well. So all these sort of developments can only be good for his game.
Robert Gibson comes in and says vociferous, gets his vote for the word of the day. I think that'll be yourself. I think that'll be myself and yourself, Ryan, moving forward when we do this more together. We're getting more and more vociferous as we go on. Here's hoping that we're being vociferous about a domestic treble come June the 3rd. That would be wonderful. And I'm reading reports that it might be a lunchtime kickoff for that, Ryan. Is that the case? In order not to clash with the FA Cup final, I think they're possibly doing away with tradition and maybe putting the cup final at midday or lunchtime kickoff. We'll see on that. That will come out in the fullness of time. Scott McGill saying 12:30. Yes, strange time for a Scottish Cup final, but hey, if that's the case, then it doesn't matter when it's played. If it's played at 3 a.m, Ryan, everybody will be there.
I'll be there. Yep, that's it. We just it's just one of those things. At 12:30, if we win the cup, then we'll have more time to celebrate. So absolutely ideal.
Yes, that's one way of looking at it, Ryan. Indeed. Robert Gibson says, "Can we have a caveat, please?" He's just throwing words at it, Ryan. There you go. On you go, sir.
I've just been told that Celtic have announced their Japan sort of tour recently on Twitter. There, I'm just having a wee look at it just now. But that'll be good for the Japanese players that we've got going back to their home country and sort of seeing all the Celtic fans that are no doubt over there.
Yeah, I mean, I think just buys into the feel-good factor for everybody, doesn't it? That, as you mentioned, the Japanese players will get to go home and see their family, and so will O, because it's taken in South Korea as well, isn't it? I believe the tour.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's great for O as well to go back to his home country.
I think it's wonderful. Just does wonders for their confidence, and also just for the fact that it feeds into the Celtic family thing, does it? That you're part of something, that when you sign for this club, that you're part of something bigger and a greater entity, but they have your best interests at heart in everything that they do. And I think that will really boost the guys getting the chance to go home and see everybody and check in with their families and just share, hopefully, the joy of their season's work.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be nice to see the sort of the growth of the Celtic support over there as well, because you think about the amount of players that are playing now. If they go over, we'll see if there's loads of fans. We'll see if there's loads of Japanese people with Celtic tops on. That's only good for the growth of the team. If we're doing that over there, then we'll have more supporters, and then more people will be tuning into the games. I mean, there's plenty of engagement with the social media accounts, the Japanese ones. So it's definitely great for the club that it's getting bigger in other continents too. Thanks to the players.
Yeah, Derek Crawford comes in. It's also a no-brainer financially from the club. It's a fantastic business move. Yep. Steve McGrory comes in and says to me, only Japan is mentioned in today's communications from the club. So we'll watch that space in terms of all going back to South Korea with Celtic. Hopefully Celtic take in South Korea as part of that Asian tour, and hopefully Ole gets a chance to see his family as well. But I'm sure it was mooted, wasn't it, at some point? So maybe they're just trying to try up the loose ends.
There was
part of the trip.
Yeah, there was a picture of Michael Nicholson and Ki Sung-young, so I'm wondering if that's still just getting sorted out. They're ironing out the details, and then they'll maybe announce something in due course.
But as you say, it's a wonderful chance to cash in on that kind of, the global market, and also see what interest Celtic has generated by the signing of the Japanese players and as well, because I know one of the broadcasting stations is in Korea showing all the Celtic games now that O's there, aren't they? So yeah, that can only be a good thing, and I can imagine that the Japanese TV are showing Celtic games right, left and centre because of the huge contingent that are playing for the club, and they are doing so well. So it's just great news all around. Making friends all over the world, Ryan, as befitting a club like Celtic, because it's what they do, and it's just a joy to watch and see, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And it really does show you these countries that really do get behind their players. I mean, we've only got one South Korean player, and they've took out a TV deal just to exclusively watch him. That's really, really incredible support to see how much they support that player because he's playing for a foreign team. It's absolutely brilliant. That development, you want to see more and more of that, and the more fans we've got, the better. And it's good that we can do these trips, and I'm sure it'll be a great trip in the summer when it's starting to happen.
Yeah, Steve comes in and says, yes, hopefully we'll visit South Korea too. Morning, Steve, how you doing? Regular contributor. Yeah, I hope they do. I think it just, for those players' well-being, I think it would be wonderful for them. And I don't think they would miss the opportunity to do that if they're travelling that far. So, and then hopefully Ole gets the boost from that, Ryan, and, sharpens himself up, ready to hit the ground running next season. He's had a wee settling in period, but we know exactly what he can bring too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I'm really looking forward to seeing. Hopefully, we see a wee bit more of Ole before the season's out. Because and the sub appearances that I've seen of him, and he started the game as well. I have been impressed by the sort of physical qualities that he's got. He's scored 3 goals. He's just bedding in at this point. It will take time. He is a bit rough around the edges with regards to some parts of his game, but at 21 years old, he still gets scope to improve massively before he gets into his prime. And Celtic's a great place to do that because he will get more and more game time as the years go on. So I'm looking forward to seeing how he develops over the next couple of years at Celtic, and he's playing under the best manager for that, in Ange.
And he's certainly not out of sight, out of mind with Klinsmann. Jurgen Klinsmann recently going to Rugby Park to watch him, so he seems to be a big part of the future of the national team. So if he can force his way into the Celtic side, or certainly contribute more goals to the Celtic cause, then it'll help him in terms of his international ambitions.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm sure Jurgen Klinsmann knows about a good striker when he sees him. He was full of praise for Ole when he was talking about him. So again, a good manager to work with domestically and now internationally with Jurgen Klinsmann. He can only improve Ole as his career progresses, and you just hope it's this is the start of many caps for O in the years going forward. I hope he's a mainstay in the South Korean team. They've got a couple of stars in there before, but I'm hoping that O's the next one in that conveyor belt of South Korean talent.
Kenny Todd, with Anja arranging tours to Japan and Korea, we are bringing a new friend with support from all over the world watching Celtic. Well, correct. That's all. That's a wonderful comment there, because that's exactly what's happening now. Ryan, we will not deviate slightly, but we want to talk about the Celtic women's team, who had another wonderful result against Hibernian, and they're now 5 games to go, I believe, in the women's domestic championship. 5 wins will see them over the line, and they will be champions. Fran Alonso's side going for the women's championship for the first time ever. And so I think as it gets to this stage, Ryan, I think a lot of Celtic supporters will get behind them, won't they? Hopefully they see some bigger crowds at their games as well, because it is now coming down to the business end, and Celtic are right in that mix, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. You want to see any team that's associated with Celtic, you want to see win. Obviously, the men's team has done so well this season, so we're hoping that maybe translates to the women's team too. It was a really good win against Hibs. They've got 5 games to go. They're going for a double, so it's all going well. And Fran Alonso is just doing a great job. I think Fran Alonso has been absolutely tremendous since he's came in. He's infectious personality. It comes across on the touch lines and in interviews. So yes, it's absolutely brilliant that they're doing such a good job, and fingers crossed they get over the line with regards to the league.
Yeah, they're playing Rangers on Thursday, I believe, and Derek Crofton has said the women are flying. Congrats to the youth team doing the same as well. I think the youths are in action, the under-18s are in action on Wednesday night at Hampden in the Youth Scottish Youth Cup final against Rangers as well. So it's just good news week. But yeah, every time I watch Fran Alonso, he's just someone who again has been bitten by the Celtic bug, hasn't he? Humour's infectious, and I spoke about this before. I thought he handled the aftermath of what happened in the last Rangers game superbly well, both as he wanted to speak immediately after it and in the aftermath of it as well. When he said that he accepted the apology and didn't make a big fuss about it. And I think that's indicative of it's just running through every Celtic team DNA at the minute. Class and dignity at all times, and respecting your opponents, but by all means trying to be as successful as you can. And I think that's it's cascading its way down, Ryan, to all Celtic teams, and it's just wonderful. I've said before, wouldn't it be great on trophy presentation day if the women's team have won their title, the youths win the Scottish Cup as well, and everybody can parade their own respective pieces of silverware on that day. What a gala day that would be, Ryan. What a success, and a real celebration of everything that's wonderful about Celtic.
Yeah, the thought of that makes you smile. The amount of trophies that we could have potentially on display on Trophy Day, it really would live up to the name Trophy Day if that was the case. Yeah. It's just that cement. It's great to see that sort of professionalism and the niceness of the teams going from the first team to the B team to the women's team. It really is great to see that consistency go through. The club's in a really, really good place with regards to all sectors of team, regardless of what team you talk about. Every sort of sector seems to be in a good place, and it really is a joy to watch and a joy to talk about in these briefings, because it's all positive just now. I mean, a couple of years ago, you were struggling to find positives. Now you can't talk enough about positives. It's truly a great time to be a Celtic fan, I would say.
And it's from that kind of base level that we did speak about that Celtic were crestfallen when Ange took over. Nobody could have foreseen what was going to happen in the 2 years that he's been at the helm, and you just cannot believe that this is a side you're watching compared to what happened in 2021. It's just it is night and day, and you big up the manager and set of players and everybody at the club just for putting a smile back on everybody's face.
Yeah, it's all the teams have done such a great job in bringing that sort of bringing the sort of thunder back to the side, the positivity. you can see it seeping through, even through social media. And not hardly anyone's got a bad word to say about Celtic at the moment. It's just all positivity, and compared to where we were 2 years ago, it is a really, really great time to be a Celtic fan, and we've got the good times keep rolling. It seems, and long may that continue.
Derek Crawford, the whole club's flying at the minute. Must be a great environment to work in. Yeah, I can only. I think players are desperate to go to training and get into that culture and that environment that the managers foster at all levels. And I'm sure the women's team are the same and the youth teams are the same. It's just that winning mentality breeds success, breeds happiness, doesn't it? So long may it continue, as you say. Michael Ross getting ahead of himself. Next year's treble will be even better. Steady, Michael, steady. Come on now.
Not even get this year's win yet.
They've not achieved the treble this year, so one game at a time and all that kind of stuff. I know it's cliched and it's boring, but yes, it is what it is. But no, we wish the women good luck on Thursday. They're playing Rangers, aren't they, Ryan? Big Glasgow derby again, but they seem to have got the bit between the teeth and they are knocking the fixtures down like Skittles. Beat Glasgow City twice within a week, beat Rangers as well. So, listen, they're on a wee roll at the minute, and long may that continue.
Yeah, definitely. I really hope they do well when they do play. It's incredible to see sort of Celtic beating teams like Glasgow City, who have been so dominant in that league for so many years. So it just shows you about the changing landscape of that league in general. Fran Alonso and his team have done a great job to sort of close that gap, and now they're on the cusp of something really, really special, and I hope they see it through.
Indeed, I hope they see it through as well, but everybody get behind the Celtic women's team as they close down their season, as much as the Celtic men's team will be interesting to watch how it all pans out. Ryan, there you go, just short of 42 minutes, 45 minutes. We never run out of things to say, do we? Thank you for your comments, guys. We involved you today because we kind of, as I say, get carried away yesterday with everything that happened on Sunday.
Can you blame us?
No, you can't. But I think the common denominator here, Ryan, is just the joy and happiness that everybody has derived after Sunday's result. It's just you can see it. It's that outpouring of happiness that everybody is going to manifest itself in the comments, and something that the manager touched upon, that they've got a chance to do something really special. Everybody's just so excited now. June the 3rd can't come quick enough. Sunday, hopefully they go to Edinburgh Tynecastle, wrap up the title, and then it's kind of party time to June the 3rd, and then hopefully continue the celebrations after that. But yes, it's just, as you say, a wonderful time to be around the club, and the man from Japan / Australia obviously has put it's given Celtic their club back and an identity back that they thought would take a while for the pendulum to swing back in their favour. And it's you can't believe for the past 2 years what you've been watching, which leads you to say that Cameron Carter-Vickers is the best defender you've seen in your lifetime of watching Celtic. These are big claims. Furuhashi being compared in certain aspects of his game to the likes of Larsson, all that kind of stuff. So, that shows you the shift from 2021, and also the kind of affection that this team has kind of carved into the hearts and minds of the Celtic supporters in such a short space of time.
Yeah, the synergy between the team and the club and the support is really, really incredible just now. I feel like every Celtic fan has got a spring in their step just now. There's just so much positives that you can talk about. Everybody's in a good mood. Everybody wants to talk about Celtic. Everybody's buzzing about the next game. I mean, last season, if you were to say you were to lose our first choice right back and centre back for games, people would be worried. People would be like crisis mode, but we're like, it's fine. Look at guys that can come in that can do a job. So it's just that the positivity that's emanating from everybody is absolutely incredible just now. And it's just a great time to be a Celtic fan, to be honest.
Indeed it is. Well, hopefully you're still having a terrific Tuesday. We'll be back hopefully for a wonderful Wednesday, and so on and so forth. But yes, guys, that's 45 minutes. Thanks for the comments today. We flicked as many up of them as we could. Thank you, Wombat. Appreciate that. Top show as usual. Very kind. Yes, but we urge you every day. If you've not subscribed, and we thank those that have. But if you haven't, look at the strapline along the bottom. Subscribe to the Celtic Way website and support top quality football journalism covering the club you love. And it's all for the click of a button. www.celticway.co.uk/subscribe. And we also say thank you to SENECA. And as everybody knows, the Celtic Way morning briefing is now sponsored by SENECA Medical Group. And SENECA are the #1 hair transplant company in Europe. And they offer innovative hair restoration treatments. And you can find out more about SENECA via the links in the description of this video. Thank you, troops. Thank you to Ryan at the Ryan McGinlay, or Ryan McGinlay if he prefers, depends on what one he wants. But excellent as always. Top class contributions there. Really enjoy the toing and froing. And we thank you guys for all your comments. We'll do it all again tomorrow, 10 o'clock-ish. Innit, Ryan? Something like that. Hey, we have to try and prepare things, guys. You know, we at least do our research, don't we, Ryan?
We're here and we're always here. We're here and we're always here.
Yes. What is it? And God bless every one of them. Was that the
like
Tommy for that? Yes, Tommy after the Scottish Cup final win. Indeed. Guys, thanks very much. Take care. See you tomorrow.
Thank you.